at Armstrong as a result of the Civil Rights Act. All of the plants now are under directive from the federal government to open up different jobs to blacks. And so this new job comes open. It was not a desirable job as far as the work was concerned, but it was a desirable job because of the money. Jackson applied for it, and I think 122 people at the plant were eligible for that position, but he had more experience than anybody, and he got the job.
He did tell me about they gonna promote him, and they talked to me about it, and I agreed with what they wanted to do what you had to do. And I always felt like the Negroes should have the same opportunity as anyone else. And if you're at the plant, and if a position come open, then they offer you take it.
My mom was real worried about my dad. She was almost, like in a nervous frenzy every time my dad would leave and go out to work.
Jackson had a whole lot of things going against him. He was involved in civil rights. He rode to work with George Metcalf, and he took a job that for the history of Armstrong Tire Company had only belonged to a white man.
You hear a lot of grown people telling my dad to be careful. And my dad always said, don't worry, he'll be back.
I stood right here working on my bicycle in front of my house. I was trying to get my banana seat right, and I had a nice big fat tire on the back of it. I used to see those guys riding those choppers. Man, I wanted to make my bike like that too, a little 20-inch bicycle. I heard the explosion in my mind, like, what is that? I never heard anything like that before. I jumped on my bicycle. I shot right down there and shot straight to this here street here. You can look straight down the street to MLK. I'm noticing people outside of their houses, and I just rode up there and started looking in. I saw a gentleman laying in the street. Not knowing who he was, and seeing the truck, knowing who truck that was, and not being able to connect the dots together. I saw a shoe that he was wearing, and I grabbed that shoe and came to the house. Later, I heard from my mother as I grew up, I had come back with his flesh in the shoe.
When the explosion happened, I was in the kitchen, and you can hear all the sirens. You can see the lights.
My mom, when she heard that sound, she said, that's your daddy, that's Jackson. Before she could finish saying it, they were knocking on the door, letting her know that was my daddy.